Klingbeil, it's official now. You are taking on one Logan Greenhall. I know you have other words to call him, and you made it be known what you think about him over on Smack Talk. The match is real. It is official. It is now. You can talk about it. How jacked are you that this is going to be the co-main event, Power Slap number 18?
I mean, man, Corey, it's always an honor to have an interview with you guys. I'm super pumped, man. I'm blessed. I didn't get the title rematch, but hey, I didn't win. Number one, and maybe it wasn't close enough. I don't know. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Power Slap is like, you know what? We love you. Let's give you that co-main. And I'm like, all right, cool. They gave me some, guy, if you can call him that, and I have to put him down to get the title rematch. It's fine.
I mean, number one contender versus number two, so it makes a lot of sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I'm probably just as jacked as you are for this one. The war of words that have taken place have just started. I think it's going to continue all the way to the match. It seems like it's gotten personal with this guy now. Is that fair to say?
I think it's personal. I think it's been personal since before now. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I mean, talk to me about his game, how he's got here, and do you think he's going to be any challenge to you?
I mean, I think if they let him do his little pivot and increased heel step that he's done with Russell and just about everybody else, maybe he'll rock me a little bit, but I doubt it. So I'm not too worried about it. Does he have a weight factor that I should be aware of? I mean, okay, yeah, I guess. Like a lot of guys come in at 215, 220 for light heavyweight, and it's not phased me at all. I put in a lot more work. I put on a little bit of muscle, and I think, come Power Slap 18, I'm going to put this kid down. So I think, do I think he's got a fast strike? Yeah, absolutely. I'll give him that. But I don't know. It's just nothing I haven't faced before. So, yeah.
I hear you. I mean, obviously, Russell Rivera made a very critical mistake, leaning over the table. Anytime you do that, you expose your chin, you make yourself very vulnerable. To be a knocked out, I'm sure you're not going to make that same mistake. How do you prepare for a guy like Logan? You talked about him. He used to compete at heavyweight. He's come down. He is kind of on that bigger side. But how do you counteract all of that? You fought in all the big matches. You fought against Wolverine. You've overcome the momentum of that. Logan hasn't been in that co-main position where all the stars, the celebrities, the fans of the sport are going to be locked in on that moment. And do you think that gives you a decisive edge, having been in that spot before with all the lights on you and having an event, curated around you? Do you think that sets you, up for success?
I mean, personally, yeah. I mean, obviously, I think that's a great point that you made there. I mean, you pretty much made it. It's like, I mean, some people are built for it, right? And you never know until that pressure is put on you, like what's going to happen. I will say, when I went up against Austin Turpin Power Slap 3, I felt the pressure all day, and I give all the credit in the world to Austin. I'm not going to take away from him on that one by any means. But when I walked into that ring, I wasn't ready, like in the way that I wished and I'd hoped I had been, because I felt the weight and the pressure of it all, right? Because you got sponsorships on the line, you got visible credibility. We've done a lot of trash talking, so it's like, okay, this is the co-main event. Everybody's tuned in by this point usually. Like occasionally you'll just have one or two guys like pop in for just the title fight, but typically people want to see one or two before the title fight happens because of the nature of Power Slap. It's very quick, right? So I think that's a great advantage. I think it's a good point that you made there. So I do think that having that experience will help me. Yeah.
First time I just thought about this. Is Logan a baby Turpin?
He's just sprouting his wings. I would never insult Austin Turpin like that. Never. I don't care what he says about me. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I mean, game plan wise, I know you fought, not too long ago. You're a guy that's always in shape. You take this incredibly seriously. We know that you've, stepped away from your day job to focus on Power Slap as a career. One of the few true professionals that are in a position to be able to do it. And you're fighting at the top of this card once again, and it's proven you to be successful. Obviously, last time we seen you against Wolverine, you pushed him as far as anybody ever has. You were within a hair away from taking home that that championship belt. What if anything, do you have to go back to the drawing board on and work for this match to get back in a position for a title shot Once again, whether it's Wolverine or the Crazy Hawaiian.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've, typically I just come in at 205, and I've opted to go up to at least 210. Because I prefer to be walking weight, and I guess maybe it's an excuse, but I allow myself that extra 5 pounds to say, hey, if you're within 5 pounds, you're probably walking weight at the end of the day, right? You got to cut a couple of pounds to be where you're at in your weight class. To me, that's still sort of walking weight. So I'm going to do that. And On top of that, I've gotten some great advice from guys like you, and like what sort of training I should be doing and approaching, and I don't want to reveal that on here, but I'm very excited. Like, I'm out here, I don't have my 24-inch pythons, but they're getting there. It's like, yeah, I could put up over 300 on bench. I can, do a lot of different things that I sort of had with Ron, but I'm not gonna lie, I had personal injuries and stuff like that. I'm able to like define certain areas that I had to kind of neglect, and I think that really stole from my ability to absorb and deliver, shots while I was out there. And so, man, I'm just kind of pumped because I feel like I'm going to be at my strongest when I walk out there. So,
Competing overseas, you've seen that. You've fought in Vegas now, more than probably a handful or more at times. Do you have a preference one way or the other?
man, I prefer the USA all day, any day. You know what I mean? So it's, outside of like, this is probably going to cause some controversy. I'd fight in Israel. I think that'd be cool as hell. But outside of that, like, anytime I could, or in Russia, if I got to take on some Russian in front of like Vladimir Putin just to put him down, that would be sick. Like, you know, little American moment there, a little Rocky moment. But man, all freaking day. I would love to fight in Texas if I could, but if I can't fight in Texas, then Las Vegas, definitely.
Yeah. They say everything's bigger in Texas, but Las Vegas definitely packs a punch. Later on, in the night, you have the Crazy Hawaiian taking on Wolverine for that light heavyweight match. How do you think that match is going to go?
All right, here's the deal. I've definitely thrown some massive shade towards the Crazy Hawaiian, and you know, here's the deal. I love the guy. I think he's monumental to the sport. I know that Ron is as well. So I want to give them both credit where credit is due, right? Like, I think it's, I think it's really hard to say if you haven't gone up against a light heavyweight and you drop down that much weight, like how much can you actually take, right? And so I don't want to detract from his ability to deliver or absorb anything, but what I will say is that I do find it hard to think that like you're gonna walk in there and you're gonna be the absolute best. You know what I mean? And Ron's very seasoned in this. This is just another walk in the park for him. He's just up there to get a paycheck, and he's like, I just want to get a, he wants a rematch with me, so he's like, I'm gonna put this guy down. And I don't know, man. All those factors to me lead me to think that maybe DeCrazy Wine's not gonna walk away with a W on that one. So yeah.
Gotcha. One last one for me. All right. A casual fan of the sport sitting there debating, should I buy a ticket or not to come and watch Power Slap 18? And should I tune in to watch Logan Greenhall versus Alan Klingbeil? Give your best argument of why they should pull the trigger, spend their hard earned money, and come and watch you.
Well, I'll tell you this. First and foremost, it's Alan Klingbeil versus whatever his face is. It's definitely not the other way around. I'm number one. He's whatever. So that is the way it is. So if you want to come watch that, I'm going to put on a hell of a show. I know Ron and the Crazy Wine are going to put on one heck of a show, regardless of the outcome. I don't know how to explain it, but when you're there, it's so electrifying. I watched. Man, we had like one of the biggest cards ever. There was like, I swear there was like 14, 15 fights, maybe more. And I just sat through the early prelims all the way through. Maybe it was like 19. I can't remember. It was some crazy number. And I thought by the end of it, man, I wish there were still more. So like, I've never met anybody that's walked in there and thought, yeah, this was a waste of my time. Literally every single person I was like, oh, I don't know. My friend convinced me to go or whatever. They're just like, dude, this was so great. I want to be at another live one. So I hope we get as many as U.S. matches as we can possibly get, because in my honest opinion, I don't know what you're doing that day on March 6th. If you're a Texan, it's a day that reminds us of the Battle of the Alamo. That's the day that occurred, so it's going to be an epic night. I don't know, man. Lightning, fireworks, whatever it takes for you. This describes exactly the experience you will have if you walk into Power Slap 18. So I say buy a ticket.
Awesome. I mean, definitely an exciting atmosphere, very much a party-like atmosphere, one that you can mingle, walk around. There's not many fans that sit in the seats that they purchased. They're definitely
Yeah.
standing and, holding on to whatever they got, because at any given moment, the action could spark up and it could be completely over. I mean, one of the most electrifying sports to watch live. So I think it's, pairing off, two guys that's going to be electric. I don't see this going the distance. Do you?
No, not at all.
Got a guarantee? You're going to guarantee it 100%?
Am I going to guarantee it 100% to put this kid down? Oh, yeah, let's do that. 100%. Absolutely. If it gets past the first round, I'm putting him down in the second. There's no doubt in my mind. So that's a honest to God fact right there.
Here we go. Alan Klingbeil, the Kryptonian, with his guarantee of the night. Appreciate you for joining me. Look forward to seeing you once again in that co-main event, Power Slap 18, March 6th from the Fontainebleau.